Welcome. I'm Dr. Robert Delamore, and I'm here to present the power of food. Look at the color. Imagine the sweetness. We're going to present delicious and nutritious food for you and your family. Come and join us. Thank you. Okay, here we are. We are ready to prepare some delicious food for you. We're going to make it simple. We're going to make it easy. Something you might want to do at home. First thing I'm going to do is prepare my garlic. We're just going to place it on our cutting board. I'm going to take my favorite chef's knife here, and I'm going to slice this garlic very thinly. Now, we don't have a lot of time to do this, so we've come up with techniques to be able to prepare the food quickly, efficiently, and safely. By slicing the garlic thinly, it's going to yield its maximal sweetness, its maximal flavor, and its maximal nutrition. Okay, I have my garlic here, and we're going to just enter it into our pan in just a minute. But before I add that garlic, we need to prepare our mushroom. Now, this is our button mushroom here. That's a wonderful alternative to meat. It is the ultimate meat substitute. These button mushrooms are very cost effective and delicious, okay? We're also going to feature this delicious portobello mushroom and maybe do a mushroom medley. Okay, a little trick that we like to teach people is to turn a round object into something flat by slicing it, and then you can move through it very quickly. When we prepare this mushroom, we like to present it very thinly sliced so that it melts in the saute, and it will melt in your mouth as well. Now, I'm demonstrating a technique I developed with my finger on top, which allows me to move the ceramic knife safely and quickly and allow us to slice the mushroom very thinly. We found that kids love the mushroom when it's sliced thinly. Try it. It's also going to cook faster than if it was cut thicker. Okay? And I'm going to take my mushrooms here. And again, we don't turn on the gas until we're ready to rock. Okay? So these ceramic blades are incredibly durable, 10 times stronger than steel, very lightweight, and just an incredible utensil to have. You also have to realize that you never have to sharpen these ceramic blades. So they're not only lightweight, they're super durable and strong. Okay, next item we're going to prepare are our peppers. Look at the color of these peppers. Did you know that these red and yellow peppers have 3 times the vitamin C of a green pepper? Remember, when you're thinking healthy food, think of more color, more health. Okay? So try to purchase these. It's going to add color to the plate along with triple the vitamin C. Okay, so let me show you how we top these. We're going to take our knife like this, just take them each like so. Okay, now over a garbage pail, we're going to just take our seeds and just pop them out like so. Okay, and we're done. Same thing here. Now, what I would like to share with you is a method of preparing the pepper without the ribs. And if you'll take a look at these peppers here, you'll see they have these yellow ribs. We're going to remove those like this. I'm going to take the ceramic blade, and on either side of the rib, I'm going to just slice down. 1, 2, 3 strikes of the knife. And then we'll take that cap, okay? Now, these are going to be used as well, the tops. Watch what I do here. Just 2 slices of the knife, and now the ribs are gone. So now what I'm going to do is place one on top of the other. And this is in an effort to save time. We want to move through this quickly. I have multiple colors here. They're going to yield tremendous flavor and sweetness. How about another yellow on top here? And I'm going to hold them together like this. And then with my knife, I'm going to slice down and julienne the pepper. Okay? But we're saving time by doing it 3 peppers at a time. Again, this is called a julienne. We're going to just take our knife and turn it 90 degrees and dice the pepper like so. So this is a rough dice, multiple colors, remember the vitamin C, and now I think we're ready to rock and roll. So what we do next is take our pan. I'm featuring this amazing Olio di Meli olive oil. It is just, I find it to be incredibly flavorful, really brings out a lot of flavor and nuance from the vegetables and the garlic, the aromatics. We're going to cook with a little medium heat. I'm going to add my oil. Okay. Now, I'm going to share with you a technique of using the pan and cooking two different vegetables at the same time. They're not coming together. They're going to be completely distinct flavors. These peppers, if I cook them with the mushrooms together, they're going to overpower the mushroom flavor. So we're going to show you a cool technique to actually split the pan in half. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is make sure my oil is hot enough by adding a little bit of garlic. Okay, and we're going to look for a ripple in the pan, and I'm going to listen for a sizzle with the garlic. That's how I know that that oil is going to be hot enough to introduce the vegetables. Otherwise, the vegetables will soak up the olive oil. So I'm going to take my peppers and I'm going to introduce them here. Okay. Now, on the other side of the pan, I'm going to introduce my garlic. So I'm just going to take the oil here, and I'm going to just simply toast or saute the garlic, of course, adding the mushroom before they turn black or brown. Okay, so these are my thinly sliced mushrooms. I have the pepper starting to cook down. We're going to introduce the mushroom in just a minute. We're keeping an eye out on the olive oil, making sure it's not too hot. We're using our senses of sight, smell, and hearing to make sure that the cooking process is going as we want. Okay? You know, cooking is so creative. We've been working with kids for over 10 years now, teaching them these culinary tricks. But really the trick is to get them enticed and looking at this food in a different way. We do that by making it completely mesmerizing with every rainbow of color. We even feature red cabbage, which is going to be a purple crunch to the salads that we love to cook. This saute is going to take about 5 minutes. We want to cook the peppers down a little bit. We want to cook the mushrooms down. The mushrooms are picking up the flavor of the garlic. The peppers are going to saute and start to caramelize, which is going to, of course, mean that they're going to brown, and it's going to yield the maximal flavor. It's the desirable browning of the vegetables that we're looking for, and those peppers are going to saute and caramelize to a perfect flavor and consistency. So if you look in the pan, you'll see it's split in two, and I've done this on purpose so that the mushrooms pick up all the flavor of the olive oil, garlic, and the black pepper that I introduced, and the peppers just cook on their own. Okay, so you're cutting your cooking time down in half. I showed you how to prep it, how to prepare it, and now we're going to show you how we're going to finish this dish. Now the black pepper is really a big flavor enhancer, and if you haven't already noticed, I didn't include any salt in this dish. And for 10 years of cooking instruction, life skills for nutritious cooking, we've been presenting completely salt-free cooking with kids. And they go crazy. No sazon, no adobo, no hot sauce. We're cooking these vegetables and our lean meats completely salt-free, and the kids are going crazy for it. So we know we must be doing something right. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper, and you did notice I added a little bit of my olive oil because the mushrooms really like to soak up that olive oil. So we just add a little bit. It's going to add tremendous flavor. Everything's cooking perfectly here. Again, I have my vitamin C. I have my color. Okay? While this is cooking down, I'm going to take my fresh parsley. Now, I'm going to take this like this and just place it on my cutting board, stems and all, and I'm going to slice it very thinly. I just roll it like this, cut it in half, place it on top, and then I can chiffonade it very fine. Or I can do this. Now this is going to allow me to really elicit the maximal flavor, bouquet, and aroma from this parsley. I wish you could smell this now. Okay, these fresh herbs are critical to add at the end of the dish, of course, and they're going to add a lot of flavor along with tremendous antioxidants and phytochemicals. Okay, so we have the peppers cooking down. Okay, this sauteing is really such a healthy way to cook. You know that man has cooked like this for over 5,000 years with olive oil, onion, garlic. We're reintroducing it to children, young adults, teens, high school kids, and adults to get them to look at not only the health benefits, but also understand that this way of eating and lifestyle is not only healthy, it's incredibly satisfying and gratifying, okay? Remember, the more time spent at home, you need to realize that there are so many psychosocial and developmental benefits to cooking at home. The language and linguistics that are learned and modeled at the dinner table. The importance of time spent with teens as a way of improving or bolstering connectedness to both family and schools. This is what we're trying to do with kids. Get them to go home and deliver a family health promotion piece directly through the children, okay? If they're excited about food, if they're turned on to it, the color, the aroma, and of course the taste, they're going to bring this directly home to the parents. Okay, what I like to do now is add a little bit of plum tomato. Let me show you how we prepare this. Just simply use a Tupperware container top. And what it enables us to do is, it affords us a rim which will contain the juice of the tomato. Watch how cool this is. I'm going to dice this tomato. I've made it a round object flat by capping it, cutting off the top. Okay, we don't throw anything out, right? So we're going to take that like that. That goes away. Here we're going to come in here. Now this tomato is still intact on this side. I'm just going to slice my knife through like this one more time. And now by keeping my hand together and not going all the way through, it's staying together, and I have a perfect dice for us to add to our dish, okay? And everything is contained on my little Tupperware. Okay, I'm demonstrating a pulling technique with the knife with, again, the index finger on top, directing it. The blade is an extension of my finger, and it gives me great control, and I'm also utilizing the tip of the knife. So make sure when you sharpen your blades, you always make sure they sharpen the tip of the blade. Okay, so how about we add this fresh tomato? If it was sun-dried tomato, I would be adding that very early along with the garlic, but we're featuring fresh tomato today, and we think you're gonna love it. Okay, so it's colorful, there's no salt. We're gonna ask you to take a look at the caramelization process going on. You're using your senses at all times to note where you are in the cooking process. Are we almost there? Do we need to cook it a little bit more? Is it smelling desirable? Where are we with our process? Another important tip I want to share with you, another important culinary skill that master chefs always utilize, is the aspect of letting the food cook. This is where the magic, this is where the love is occurring. The flavor is being transferred from the heating source through the pan, and that part of the food that is in contact with the hot surface is going to caramelize first. Okay, you can see it starting to caramelize. Okay, I have my mushrooms starting to brown nicely. My tomatoes are going to cook down a little bit. But once I have it evenly dispersed on the pan with no hot spots or exposed spots, I let it cook. And this is where everything happens. Okay? So you're not mindlessly moving the food. We're cooking it, we're moving it, we're watching, we're listening, and then we let it sit and let it cook. Okay, remember, you can do this at home. You're controlling sodium intake. There's not a stitch of saturated fat, no butter, as a lot of commercial chefs will add. We like to teach as professional teaching instructors how to cook without saturated fat. Okay, we want you to try this at home and tell us what you think, okay? Tell us what your kitchen smells like. How about if we add a little green now, a chiffonade parsley? Okay. Okay, watch what we do now. So this is ready to rock. So now I'm going to bring them together. Okay? So my peppers have caramelized, my mushrooms have caramelized. Now we're going to add a little balsamic vinegar. Now you can add low sodium soy sauce if you like. It's going to add a bit of sodium, but you can make this a completely different dish, add some red cabbage, and make it an Asian stir fry by adding some low sodium soy sauce, hoisin sauce, or teriyaki sauce. We love cooking with balsamic vinegar. It gives it such an incredible flavor. So this is ready to rock. We're going to shut off our heat. We're going to plate this up. And what I prepared for you, and again, in an effort to show you how one dish can go so far, we're going to show you 3 different ways to plate this up. Okay, we can serve it over pasta. And this is a cool trick. You take 2 different types of pasta with similar consistencies and you cook them together. Now you have a little pasta medley. Okay, so this, another little trick what the chefs in the restaurants like to do is they cook the pasta ahead of time and then they store it in water, and you can do the same thing at home. Just drain it off. It doesn't change the consistency of the pasta as long as it's used within 12 hours, and you're saving your olive oil. You're not storing the pasta with olive oil. Okay, doesn't this look delicious? Okay, now if you'd like to add shrimp to this, I would add shrimp at the very end, cook it halfway, and then cover it and let it steam the rest of the way through, so that ensures that the shrimp is not overcooked. You could add chicken or steak, pork, whatever you like to this dish. It really doesn't need it though. Okay, so we're going to plate this up like this over our pasta. Okay, now you could also, for the winter months, you can make this a warm salad. And this is a delicious medley of greens, super nutrient and a superfood, of course, spinach with delicious arugula, adding a peppery flavor, of course, but don't forget, try to get the spinach in because it is loaded with nutrients, macronutrients, phytochemicals, and nutraceuticals. Okay, so this can go on our salad as well. But I want to show you a really cool trick. If you take this and serve this as an appetizer, like so, you can take a piece of toasted bread or bruschetta and just place this on top like this. Your guests will love this, okay? You slice the bread thinly so there's not a lot of carbs here, and this is delicious. You can even bring this into work with you in a Tupperware and have this like this. Don't forget, you can mix and match and be creative. You could add sweet potatoes to this. You could add sun-dried tomatoes. Broccoli would be delicious. Anything you desire, you could add to this dish. We flavored it in a very simple and time-tested manner with garlic and olive oil. We're using only first pressed olive oil. It's going to yield tremendous flavor. It's going to bring out all the sweetness of that pepper without it being overbearing. We think that you're going to love this dish if you try it at home. We'd love it if you do so. You're going to love this recipe. Easy, quick, and absolutely delicious. Total meat substitute. We're going to feature this incredible portobello mushroom, one of my favorites. We're going to slice the garlic very thinly. How about 2 or 3 at the same time? Can we try that? We need to save time, right? What if I share with you a cool trick on how to utilize the knife in a pulling motion, okay? With your finger on top, remember the blade is an extension of your finger. You can slice as thinly as you like, and that's a really cool trick to start to incorporate into your cooking. We're going to take our flame, our gas, and we're going to turn it up, and we're going to get our olive oil nice and warm. Nice and hot, I'm sorry. Now, this is going to be our base for our portobello. And we're going to introduce this here like so. Watch this. With this little paring knife, I'm going to take, again, a pulling motion, and I'm going to slice this nice and thinly. Look at the meat on this portobello. Remember, these have been wiped cleanly. You never wash them under water. These are going to yield a tremendous amount of nutritional value, folates, niacin, tons of vitamins, and incredibly filling and delicious. Our oil looks like it's almost ready, so we're going to take our cutting board here and introduce our garlic. Now, these mushrooms can take an onion, a red onion, or a sweet onion. It would be absolutely delicious. Try this with just the garlic, though. You're going to love it. Okay, so now we're going to take our mushroom and introduce it like so. Okay. Now these are beautiful, thinly sliced, but so flavorful and so filling. Now, how about a little salt on here? We don't need it. Instead, we're going to just use some cracked black pepper. Another trick is to take the black peppercorns and crush them, and it'll yield a tremendous bouquet and aroma like you've never experienced before. Just with the underside of a pot or a mortar and pestle. We're going to add another drop of our olive oil. Okay, look at the color and the shine of this oil. It is adding so much flavor, so much body to this mushroom. A little more pepper. Now we could add a little bit of red wine, or we could introduce some balsamic vinegar. We're going to introduce a little balsamic. Remember, the balsamic has a little sugar in it. When we cook it down, it's going to reduce and become more concentrated and more flavorful. Now remember, we don't want to mindlessly move this continuously in the pan. We need to let the magic happen. We need to let it cook and caramelize, and that will yield the maximal sweetness, maximal flavor. The desirable browning is what we're looking for. Okay? These portobellos are going to be featured as an appetizer today. Again, you can feature them over a salad or with pasta. We're going to feature it with this delicious bruschetta. And this will be one of your guests' favorite appetizers they've ever tried. Once this is starting to break down, we're going to just use our spoon to just break it apart. Now again, what I'm trying to do is make sure that all of the mushroom is in contact with the hot heating surface of the pan. So it ensures even and complete cooking. Also, we want to move through this quickly, right? Now what I'm going to add to this dish is some fresh basil. And if you're like me, you know the benefits of this incredible superfood. You can just imagine how delicious this smells as we peel, just pluck it off the stem. And now what I'm going to share with you is a cool technique to, again, chiffonade the basil. I'm going to remove my stems quickly, and then I'm going to place each leaf one on top of the other. And this is going to allow us to, again, move through this quickly. I'm always trying to share ways to manage time and get through this faster. And again, once you do this more often, the more often you do it, the easier it is, okay? We're going to chiffonade the basil. You see I've rolled it like a cigar. This is my chiffonade basil. Remember, chiffonade is a French term for straw or hay. This is what we want to do. We want to be able to elicit the maximal sweetness from this basil. Now look at the color of these mushrooms. These are cooking so perfectly. The bouquet from the olive oil, from the garlic is cooking perfectly. Okay, very simple, but incredible flavor, incredible concentration of flavor, and also an incredible texture to these mushrooms. Again, we could plate this over pasta, have it as a side dish with for Thanksgiving meal or a Christmas meal, and or we could place it over a bed of pasta. Another cool trick, again, is to try to use this pre-baked bread. We cook this in the oven less than 5 minutes, thinly sliced, again, minimizing the amount of carbs that we're introducing and calories. Look at this onion. You notice that I'm holding off on adding the basil. It's got to be at the very end. If you wanted to add some sliced cherry tomatoes, it'd be amazing. It'd be a tremendous bang. Try that as well. But we want you to see that you can cook meals as simple as 2-3 ingredients with no salt, with no butter, and without sugar, and the food is just jumping off the palate. Okay? And again, I'm mindful of making sure all of the food, all of the mushroom is equally in contact with the heating element of the pan. You want to make sure that it cooks evenly and quickly. Okay? I'm going to plate this up in just a minute. I'm going to turn our gas off and just add our fresh basil at the end. Okay. And this is going to be some flavor-packed dish. It took me about 5 to 6 minutes to prepare it. Less to prepare it and about that amount of time to cook it. We're ready to plate. This is how we're going to do this with our little tong. I'm going to take our tong here and we're just going to plate this right up like this. Look at this and imagine the flavor coming off this mushroom, enhanced with the olive oil, the garlic, and the fresh basil. And mushrooms are also loaded with protein. This too you can make at home. Try it. We welcome you to cook without salt and let us know what you think. Again, my name is Dr. Robert Delamore. This is The Power of Food. Please come back and see us again. Thank you.